What's up friends, Chook here, and welcome to the Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon is about making the most of a bad situation. Quests will fail or must be abandoned. Heroes will die, and when they die, they stay dead. Progress auto-saves constantly, so actions are permanent. This game expects a lot out of you. How far will you push your adventurers? Are you willing to risk at all in the quest for your hamlet? What will you sacrifice to save the life of your favourite heroes? Etc, etc. So, this game is called The Darkest Dungeon. I have already covered this game on my channel, however, it was the first game I did cover back, I don't know, whenever I started, back in mid last year or whatever it was. And when I did it, I was actually quite sick with sinusitis and I was all stuffed up and I was new to YouTube and I wasn't fully confident yet and all that sort of stuff. And this game is amazing and it's now fully developed, fully published. It's out. It's 100%. It's its own game now. It's no longer a Kickstarter or Greenlight or anything like that. And I thought I kind of owed it to myself and to the game to have another look at it, to revisit it, because it really is a really good game and with some really cool, unique mechanics. And I think you guys will like it, especially some of you newer subs that only know me for my League content. You probably would have never have seen my original footage on this, and it's probably a good thing because it wasn't that great. However, for now, let's just watch the opening cinematic and you can kind of get an idea of what this is all about.
Ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the Darkest Dungeon.
Okay, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of what's going on here. Now, as I said, when I played this, it was still in Kickstarter mode and everything, and now it's been fully released, so there are quite a few new additions to this game than what I was used to back in the day. So you can see here, pardon me, this was our original save, Chickens in Peril. However, we're going to start, and we got to week 48. We're going to start a completely new game. So let's just call it the Chicken Coop. And enter, and let's play this.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Okay, so what's cool about this game, well, there are many, many cool things to be honest, is that voiceover guy, he pretty much narrates a lot of things. So when you do something good, when you do something bad, when something good happens to you, when something bad happens to you, at the end of a mission, all sorts of things like that, he'll narrate it, which I find very, very cool. It's kind of like Bastion, if you've ever played Bastion, where the guy narrates everything you do. Kind of like that, but a bit different. And there are different... Press space or click to continue, sure. Okay, we'll talk about this. Your map navigation. You are currently in a room. To move forth, click on another room on the map down here. On the display, it'll take you to the connecting hallway. So at the moment, we're in this room. If we click on this room here, we'll enter this hallway, and then we have to move 4 spots to get to this hallway. You can only move forward and backwards. There's no up and down or anything like that. It's a very linear in the fact that you can only go forwards or backwards. There are a bunch of different classes. So this guy's a Crusader and this guy's a Highwayman. Highwayman or Highwayman. And this guy's a Crusader. Different classes do different things, and we'll get into that as we go. For now, let's just go with the basics, and we'll click on this room.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
Okay, hallway movement. While in a hallway, press D to move forward and A to move back. You can use the mouse if you want to. Fine. Alright, so we'll just use D and A. Now, as you know, as you'll see, when we move here, you'll notice that these little... the torch goes along these 4 spaces. So that's effectively 1 space. Here. Next one is here. And any of these spaces...
brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
Any of these spaces can contain something. Whether it's loot, a trap, enemies, etc., etc. And so basically, when you're going between rooms, you have 4 hallway spots, and in those 4 hallway spots, you can have all 4 of them have something on them, or none of them can have something on it, or something in between. Okay, kill the enemy. Combat is turn-based. On your hero's turn, click the skill icon and then click on a highlighted target. If you cannot select a particular skill, it's because that hero needs to be standing in a different spot. Okay. So, how this works, and this is a cool mechanic I like quite a bit. You have, or you will have, 4 spots in your party. So 1, 2, there'll be a 3 here and a 4 here. And they will also have up to 4. So you can see here we have someone in 1 and someone in 2. You can see above where my mouse is, I can't go lower, but you can see above where it says Open Vein 1, which is the name of the skill. There's 4 dots on the left and 4 dots on the right, and on the left there's a grey dot and then 3 yellow. That means that this spell, or this move or whatever, can be used from slot 1, 2, and 3, but can't be used in slot 4. And currently he's standing in slot 2, so we can use it. And it will hit either the opposition slot 1 or slot 2, but it can't hit their 3 or 4. That makes sense? Pistol shot, you can see here. You can use it in slot 2, 3, or 4, but it can only hit their 2 and 3 and 4. So at the moment he's in slot 2, but there's no one in slot 2, 3, or 4, so he can't use it. Grape shot can be used from slot 2 and 3, but hits their whole front line. See how those 3 red dots have the line connected? That means it hits all 3 of them. And this last one, tracking shot, you can use from anywhere, and it hits either 2, 3, or 4, one of their slots. So the best thing we can do here is Open Vein. So you can read here, Open Vein 1, melee, accuracy base 85%, damage, it does 15% less damage than normal, but it occurs a bleed. 2 points of bleed for 3 rounds if it lands. So if we click on this and then we click on this guy, hover over this guy, you can see down in his resistance tab, he's 20% resistant to bleed. So we have an 80% chance of landing this bleed on him. And we have an 83% chance of... So we have an 83% chance of hitting the skill. And then if the skill lands, we have an 80% chance of causing the bleed. So let's just give it a go and see what we get. Okay, so we hit him for 6. And he bleeds. So you see there, he just took 2 damage from that bleed. And now he's going to do a move to us. So, he's bleeding 2 damage per round for 2 more rounds. He also has this debuff, which is 20% bleed resistance, which was... Can I go to this dude and check? I can't go to this guy at the moment. Alright, well, next time we're on him, we'll have a look. I forgot to mention that it also gives him a 20% bleed resist, so you can stack it more. Okay, so this guy is a damage dealer. This dude is a tank. He's a frontline tank. He always wants to be in the front 2 spots. You see here, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So this is just a smite. It's just a hit that hits their first and second rank. It does 15% more damage to Unholy. This guy is a human. You can see under there, about here, Brigand Cutthroat human. So it's not going to do the 15% extra damage, but it's still going to hurt. Zealous Accusation hits both the front line and the second line, so that's really good. Does a little less damage. You can see their damage modification, negative 40%. So it doesn't hit as hard, but it hits 2 people. Stunning Blow, you can see there, hits rank 1 and 2, and doesn't do that much damage, but it's a 90 accuracy stun. And the last one, Bulwark of Faith, gives a 6 torch, which I'll explain in a second, and 25 protection, and it marks the target. So 25 protection, that's self-explanatory, right? It just makes you tankier. Mark the target means that you'll put a little crosshair over them, like they'll have a mark on them. And other classes have skills that do more damage to mark targets and things like that. So that's kind of a lot of buffing, really. We get torch, we get protection, and we mark one of the targets for our other party members to do more damage to. But for now, I think we'll just smite this dude. And he dodged. So that's our turn again. So we can see here, down the very bottom there, under bleed 100% base, 2 points for 3 rounds, and negative 20% bleed resistance. So his bleed resistance now is nothing. He did have 20%, but now he doesn't because of this. So we may as well try and do this again. And we killed him. Had we not killed him, the bleed would have killed him anyway. Okay, so ruffling through the corpses revealed 1,000 gold. So we take the gold, and we keep going. Now you may notice up here that there's this torch, and this kind of goes on to what I was talking about here with the torch plus 6. At the moment, we have 86 light. You can see here there's 4 quadrants. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, all of consisting of 25%, obviously. The more, basically, I'm not going to explain it too well or too hard, but the more light you have, you can see there we have better chance of scouting and better chance of surprising monsters. So the better light you have, the more chance you have of getting the first attack and seeing what's ahead. The lower light you have, the more damage you do, and the more crit you have, I'm pretty sure it is. But the more chance monsters have to surprise you, and the more stressed you get. So there's light and stress mechanics in this game as well. This game is very, very difficult, and it's a lot to wrap your head around, but if you can, it's amazing. And I'm doing my best to explain it. So, you can see underneath our health bar here, we've got these little nubbins here, these 10 little things. We can see stress, 0 out of 200. Each of these is worth 20 stress. If you get to 100 stress, your faith will be tested, and you can either overcome it and get a buff, or you can succumb to it and get a debuff. So, say you succumb to it, you might be panicked, and might, your character might act on their own and attack without you being able to click it, or they might just refuse to fight, or they might swap position with someone because they're scared or something like that. Or if they overcome it, they get a buff and they take 50% less damage and all these sort of things. So the lower light, the more stress you get. The higher light, the less stress you get. However, the lower light you are, the more damage you do. Oh, and the more loot you get as well. That's another one. All right, so let's continue with this. We're almost in the second slot here. Almost in the third slot, sorry. Okay, so you see there we got 3 stress there, just by walking in this dark sort of cave dungeon wherever we are. You will just get stressed from walking around, particularly if you walk backwards. Your dudes will get stressed out because they don't want to go backwards; they want to move forwards. Next, interactive objects. While exploring, you will find interactive objects. Click or press W to investigate them. Alright, so we found a tent here. You can investigate this and it is clearly where the ambushers camp. Now, you can either take this, check inside the tent. It might be good, it might be bad, it might be nothing. You don't know. And sometimes there will be things that you can check and you might have something in your inventory that you can use on it. So for instance, there might be like a shrine, right? There might be like a demonic shrine and you might have holy water. If you use the holy water in here, it will cleanse the shrine and you'll get loot out of it instead of being cursed. Stuff like that. But at the moment we have nothing and it's the very start of the game tutorial. We're just going to check this tent and hope for the best.
Wealth
Okay,
beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Yes. We got 1100 gold out of that.
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
Now, no doubt I'm going to talk over this dude and vice versa, so whenever he starts talking, I'll shut up. A, because he sounds cool, and B, it's going to be hard to understand both of us at the same time. Alright, so now we're at the end of this hallway. We've gotten to this door. Same thing, you can click on it, you can press W to go into the room. And in a room, same thing as a hallway. You have a chance of finding nothing, you have a chance of finding loot, you have a chance of finding enemies guarding loot, all that sort of thing. So let's go in and see what we get.
An ambush.
Okay.
Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Okay, so we surprise them, which is what these little orange circle things on the head mean, which means we go first. Now, as you can see here, this brigand bloodletted guy at the front, he's massive, yeah? He takes up 2 spots. So this guy is in rank 3, this guy is in rank 1 and 2. So anything that will hit rank 1 will hit him, anything that will hit rank 2 will hit him. So, for instance, this grape shot, where is it? Hits rank 1, 2, and 3, it's going to hit both of them. A pistol shot here, it hits 2, 3, and 4. So I can hit him because he's rank 2, or hit this guy with 3. So that's what, if someone has two bars like that, it just means they take up both slots, 1 and 2, or 3 and 4, or 2 and 3, or whatever it be. So, you can see here, this is a buff. This move is a buff. It gives us 12% damage, 6 accuracy, and 5% crit. And it also does a tiny bit of damage. Let's buff ourselves, and I'm going to try and take this backline guy out as soon as I can. This dude is only going to be able to hit this frontline guy, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to have to use our highwaymen to take out this this ranged guy. But the more we buff ourselves, you see there, 12% damage, 6% accuracy, 5% crit is going to help. Okay, so what we can try and do is we could potentially try and stun this guy. He has 50% stun resist, so it's not the best. He has 25%. So maybe stunning's not the best. What else can we do? We could try and protect ourselves, but we have no way of taunting to make sure that he hits us. So I think we might just hit him. We'll just hit him and see for the best. So we have an 85% chance to hit him. And we're here for 12. So, point blank shot. Okay, that hurt quite a bit, but that's fine. And that point blank shot actually did a debuff, but we resisted it. However, that one did not. And we oh, he's going again. Okay, so we got hit with that debuff twice. So now he has 4%, -4 dodge. So he's not going to dodge much, which is unfortunate, but it's not the best, not the worst thing in the world. Now you can see this guy doesn't have the best accuracy, but when he hits hard. So for now, we've got that buff on us. Let us pistol shot and try and take this guy out. So this guy has 9 health. We can see here this pistol shot has an 84% chance of hitting, and it does 5 to 9 damage. So let's hope for the 9, and it also has a 20% chance to crit. So let's just see what we get. Okay, we get 8, so he survives, unfortunately, with 1 HP. We're just going to smite this guy again for another 12. It's decent damage. Okay, that's probably going to bleed us, maybe? No, it just stressed us out. And it did bleed us. I was right. I was just thinking hitting us with a cat o' nine tail whip is probably going to bleed, right? Okay, so this guy has 1 HP. Basically anything is going to hit him. So we may as well use Grape Shot, because that's going to hit him and him as well. Because it's AoE. So let's do that. Hopefully it kills this guy and does decent enough damage to this dude. Okay, 3 killed him. 3 for him. Okay.
The offensive.
Corpses. When monsters die, when most monsters die, they leave behind corpses. Corpses act as a temporary obstacles and will eventually go away on their own. You can attack corpses to destroy them faster, but often a better approach is to use range skills, push/pull skills, which I'll explain, and even corpse clearing special skills that some heroes possess. Monsters killed with bleed, blight, and crits leave no corpses at all. Okay, so corpses were in the game last time I played, but they were a relatively new addition to the game, so I don't remember too much about them, but I do remember that, yeah, like it said there, if you kill an enemy with a bleed or a blight, which is basically poison, any dot or a crit, corpses don't show up. And some characters have the ability to get rid of corpses in their kit. However, for now, it's not posing much of a threat because they basically block you. So say had we killed this guy first, he would have turned into a corpse and we couldn't have, this Crusader here wouldn't have been able to attack him because the corpse would have been in the way. But considering the corpse is at the back, it makes no difference. Let's just hit this guy, hopefully kill him.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
And then the corpse disappears at the end of the match. Okay, so victory. Rifling through the corpses revealed. 8 crests, 25 gold, and a portrait. Crests and portraits are and gold are all currency. Gold is obvious. You spend money, gold on purchasing things. The crest and the portrait, and there's two other currencies like this, use on upgrading your buildings and stuff in town. Again, I'll explain that when we get there. So we'll take that. Quest complete. After you've completed the requirements for the quest, you have the option to return to town at any time. Just click the crest. You don't need to return to the starting room of the dungeon. Okay, so basically when you want to leave, you can click. We're going to continue adventuring. When you want to, you can get out. So we want to open this chest. Something doesn't look quite right with this one. Alright, so that kind of gives you a hint that maybe something's bad, but we're just going to risk it and we're going to open it anyway. It's trapped. And we caught blight. So we've got 2 damage per round for 2 rounds bleed, and we've got 2 damage per round for 3 rounds blight. So total, that would be what? Well, whatever, quite a bit, 10 damage or something. However, we're finished, so we can just get out. Okay, so we've got 5,000 gold for completing it. We got some gold, and we got 2 food. Now, I'm not sure, the food you didn't get to keep last time I played this, and you had to buy it each time you went out. However, it seems like we've collected food here, so that might be an additional change. These are the heirlooms. That's the word I was looking for. These are the other currency I was talking about. So there's busts, portraits, deeds, I think it was, and crests. Now, at the end of each dungeon that you go into, at the end, you will have a chance at gaining a perk. Perks can be good, or perks can be bad. And Resolve XP is just XP. The more Resolve XP you get, the more they level up. So, yeah, this could be good or bad. We'll click it and find out what we get. Okay, we got one of each. So we got Satan Phobia, 20% stress damage versus Unholy. So we get more stress versus Unholy. Or negative 20% stress damage if torch is above 75%. So if we keep our torch stoked the whole time, he's going to get less stressed against everything apart from Unholy. So that's how that works. I know it's a lot of information to take in.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
It is a lot of information, but it will make sense if it doesn't already. Trust me. So now we are at home. This basically gives you a recap of what happened. These are okay. Get help where you may. On any screen of the game, press and hold H to get help. Sure. Now this is your hamlet. This is your home, basically. You have all these different buildings. Complete more quests, unlock, etc. So for the moment, we have Ancestors' Memories.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Okay, so this is just like you can watch your movies and cutscenes and all that sort of stuff. That's fine. Next is Graveyard.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
this is basically you check on the people on your party members that have died. Now this game saves after everything, so there's no reloading going back. Oh shit, this guy died. He was my favorite. I'll go back and can't do it. If he's dead, he's dead. And last but not least, the stagecoach. This is super important.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Oh, sorry, I hit the microphone there. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. So, Stagecoach is your hero lifeblood. You'll need to recruit these 2 heroes to fill out a party of 4. Drag and drop them onto your roster. While you're here, spend some of your starting resources upgrading the Stagecoach network. This will increase the number of heroes available in the future. To upgrade, click the plus symbol, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you can see here that there's two new heroes that we can recruit. Recruiting is free, so we'll grab
What
them.
better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
So this is a Plague Doctor, and this is a... can't remember what they're called. Vestal. Okay, so now it's saying upgrade this. So what we can do here is Stagecoach Network. If we upgrade this spot, increases the number of available heroes to 3. This one increases the size of our roster to 12. At the moment we're at 9. And we can't get any experienced recruits yet because we haven't upgraded the other things. So probably the best thing to do at the moment would be, we want to get 9 people. We want to get as many people as we can as soon as we can. So doing this, well, you can see here all of our currency down here. And what is this? Trade area. Okay, this is new as well. This never used to be there. If we do this, it increases the number of people to 3. So next time we come back from a dungeon, there, like when we just saw there was 2 people, there'll be 3, and then 4, 5, etc. So let's get one of them.
More arrive, foolishly seeking fortune and glory in this domain of the damned.
Now we can't do the next one to take it to 4 because we don't have enough deeds. However, we can increase the size of our roster to 12. So why not, right? Okay, so just to check that no one else has shown up because of that extra thing. No one has. Okay, so basically now we go on another dungeon because there's nothing else we can do really. But to basically show you what each person has, the new guys, and it shows you here that this guy prefers front position and he prefers to target their front position. If we go down to Dismaz, he prefers to be in 1 or 2, and he likes to target 2 the best, but you know, he can hit the others. Alright, so Plague Doctor prefers to be in the back ranks and prefers to hit their bank ranks. And what he does is he's not too big on single target damage, like he's not going to go in and stab with his little knife or anything. He's all about debuffs and plague, which is poison, and all the rest of it. Being a Plague Doctor, that's something you would expect, right? So these skills are all locked. We can unlock them later when we unlock one of these buildings. You can change your skills around. But for the moment, we have Plague Grenade. So we can use this from rank 3 or 4, and it hits both of their 3 and 4. And it does Blight. 4 points of plague damage for 3 rounds. So that does 12 damage to both people over 3 rounds. So it's quite powerful, but you don't get that upfront massive, you know, you can't get a 20 hit or something, but it's a lot of damage over time. And you can stack it. Next, Blinding Gas, same thing. You can do it from the back 2, hits both of their back 2, and it's just a stun. So you can stun 2 people at once, pretty good. Embottling Vapors gives us 25% speed, 25% damage at +3 speed. It's not the best. I'll probably get rid of that when we can get some others. And Disorientating Blast, you can hit rank 2, 3, or 4. And what's it do? It shuffles single and it stuns. And it clears all corpses. Okay, so that's one thing I was talking about before. When there's a corpse there, you can use this to clear that corpse, clear all the corpses so they're not in the way anymore. It also stuns whoever you hit and it shuffles them. So say you hit their rank 2, and everything goes off, you'll stun that dude and you'll shuffle him. He might come up to rank 1, he might go back to rank 4, you don't know. So if someone's particularly pissing you off and you can't get to them, do this and they'll shuffle and, you know, you might be able to get to them. And lastly, we have the Vestal. She's basically a buffing healer. So he's a buffing debuffer damage over time person. She's a buffing debuffing healer kind of thing. So we have Judgment. does a bit of damage and heals herself for 3. So you can hit any of them from the back 2 lines. This one is a stun, and it also stokes your torch by 6. This one is a heal. You choose any of our party members and heal them between 3 and 5. Can crit. And last one is Hand of Light, which does what? 20% negative damage to them, negative 7 accuracy, and it gives us 15% damage versus Unholy. It's alright. What I will want to do eventually is unlock this Divine Comfort as a party heal. So it's a lot less of a heal, 1 to 2. This is 3 to 5, but you know, if you can upgrade it and get a party heal like 2 to 4, for example, not crits, and you get 6, and you heal everyone for 6, it's pretty good. Okay, so that's our new people. There's nothing else we can do in here. So let's embark on a quest.
Mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
Okay. I am resting. This also was not there last time I played. It was still in development. So yeah, it's good. There's a lot of new stuff. I'm actually pretty excited to suss it all out. Like I said, this game is amazing and definitely deserves credit. All right, so this guy wants to be in the front line. This guy wants to be in the second line. He wants to be in the third, and she wants to be at the back. It's just the way. It's kind of, they've given you a good lineup of characters in the good roles to set you out on your first mission. It's fair enough. Okay, provisions.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
Sorry, it's just getting a bit warm. I'm just going to take my jumper off. Okay, you want to take different supplies depending on what region you are going to and how long the quest is. If you, and your own preference, but always bring some food and torches. For your first short quest, try bringing at least 8 food and 4 torches. Okay, so 8 food, 4 torches. So we can do that. Food here, it costs $18 each. We have like a shitload of money, so 8 food, 4 torches. Oops. And you can take extra stuff like anti-venom, which can cure blights and toxins, bandages cure bleeding, herbs to take away buffs, debuffs, sorry, keys to use on locked chests and doors and stuff, holy water like I was talking about before, and torches. So we're just going to go with the basics for what they've told us this time. Seems like we have an anti-venom and a holy water given to us. So let's embark. Okay, the hero panel. Right-click on a hero's image in the portrait any time to bring up details. Okay, blah, blah, blah. We already know about that. That's basically just saying this stuff, which we looked at before. Okay, so we can see here, this is the dungeon. Explore 90% of rooms. So basically we have to explore every room apart from one. So we may as well just go up and, you know, go up this way, this way, this way, which will leave this room free, and then we're done. Or if we're doing really well, we can go back and check it out, see if there's any loot in there. But there's nowhere to go but forward. So again, there could be anything in these 4 slots. It could be nothing, could be monsters, could be traps, could be loot, could be anything. So at the moment, not a lot. Okay, so you can see down here now on the map, we've seen this thing, so we know that it's something we can interact with. So basically this little chest icon or whatever generally means loot of some sort. So this is an empty torch. Well, not an empty torch, a extinguished torch. So we got a free torch out of that. And see our light here is about to go down. You'll notice that when we go. There you go. Just went a bit dimmer. So considering we've got the extra torch, let's stoke it up so that when we go into this room, if we fight someone, we're at the highest tier of light we can be. And if you remember, this guy had something. 20% less stress damage if torch is above 75%. So every character already has quirks, good and bad. So for instance, he got satanophobia, but he already had kleptomaniac, prone to stealing items. So from time to time when we go to loot things, this guy's just going to take it for himself, and we don't get it. And in town, he will only pray for stress relief, which I'll get to soon. And the other guys will have similar quirks. No cheat, he's not allowed to gamble in town, etc. What about this guy? Manslayer, more damage against humans. Stress damage versus humans, so humans do more stress to him. and -1 speed if HP is below 50%. And she has 10% better chance of scouting in the Warrens, which is an area. We're in the ruins at the moment, but there is another place called Warrens. And intense craving for alcohol. Okay, let's go in here and see what we have. 2 skeletons. Okay, so she goes first. There's no point in healing because everyone's full life. We can either try and do Judgment, which is going to do damage and heal us, which is just basically damage because we're full health, like I said. Or we can try to stun one of these dudes. So their stun resistance is 10%, so we may as well try and stun one, right? Let's stun the back one, just for why not. And we missed, so perfect.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
That did give us torch though. Now you can see here this open vein thing does the bleed. You see there their bleed resistance is 200% because they're skeletons. Skeletons can't bleed. Makes sense, right? So we can't bleed these guys. However, this still will do quite a bit of damage. It'll still do 5 to 9 damage. So we could one-shot these guys. However, pistol shot might be better against this back dude. 4 to 8. Okay, it's not. Oh, well, let's just open vein. We'll go for this back guy again. Okay, we got 5. But again, no bleed. Okay, so now we have the Plague Doctor guy. Unfortunately, he's mainly at damaging the backlines. There is no backline. So, we can try and stun this guy. And we bring him forward. So that was the shuffle thing I was talking about. And he's stunned, so he doesn't get a go. And it's our turn. Now, Zealous Accusation. This is better against Unholy. These guys are unholy. However, Zealous Accusation hits both of them. So we may as well kill this guy off and then try and kill this guy with one hit.
Their formation is broken.
Close.
Maintain the offensive.
And because we killed someone, you saw that golden arch? That's de-stressing ourselves. So it's like, oh yes, we killed someone, de-stress. Okay, we can't do anything again apart from stun and attempt to stun and shuffle this guy, so let's do that. And that also clears the corpse. And let's just finish him off.
Back to the pit.
Okay, we got 150 gold.
This expedition at least promises success.
So not much gold, but, you know, it's better than nothing. Okay, let's check this. All Forgotten Strongbot sits on the cold stone floor. Its contents unknown. So again, you have the option to open this or not open it or do whatever you want. You can try and use one of these on it, although I'm pretty sure Holy Water and Anti-Venom are going to do nothing against it. We're just going to open it. And the contents are ours.
A fortune waiting to be spent.
Thanks, man. 25 gold is basically nothing. Jade, at the end of the dungeon, it just converts to 250 gold. So it may as well just say 250 gold. Unless that's changed, but I'm pretty sure it's still the same. And we get a shovel. Shovels can be used to overcome obstacles, which hopefully there's one in here so I can show you. Alright, so we've got a scouting chance. Because we have highlight, see this plus scouting, sometimes you get a chance to see what's coming ahead. So we know that there's an obstacle, which looks like a book for some reason. But it's an obstacle, and then a battle. So this obstacle will most likely need to use that shovel on. Okay, so, yep, here we go. So we come up against the rubble.
Stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Okay, so if we don't use the shovel, we have to clear it by hand, which stresses us all out quite a bit. However, if we use the shovel, we clear for free. Okay, so she got a tiny bit stressed, not too bad. So next little quadrant, we're gonna have a battle against something. Okay, so 2 skeletons and a cultist acolyte. But we got to jump on them because our light was high enough, so we surprised them, so we go first. So this is the perfect opportunity for Grape Shot. Right, it hits all 3 of their front line. There's only 3 of them, so it's perfect. Doesn't do, like, the best damage, but it does multiple damage to multiple people. You can't really complain with that. Okay, so they're undead. However, she is a human, so she can be bled and all the rest of it. Now, we're at the Plague Doctor right now, so let's check her blight resistance. 20%, which is fuck all. So we're going to Plague Grenade her. Hopefully it sticks. Does 1 little pissy damage, but she got blighted. So she's going to take 4 damage for the next 3 turns. So she's going to take 12 damage over time, which is amazing. Next, we have a healer. Everyone's pretty full on health apart from this dude. I don't think we really need to waste a turn healing him because he's basically full health anyway. So let's try and stun someone. If we can stun her, right, she's not going to do any damage to us. And she's going to take this blight damage. So let's try that. And we got it off, so that's great. And we're going to Zealous Accusation these two at the front because hitting two people is better than hitting one. And we finished them off straight away. So that's amazing. Right, she's stunned, she can't do anything. Now, these corpses are in the way, like I said. But this disorientating blast clears all corpses. And luckily enough, it can hit her as well. So, clear the corpses. She resisted the stun, it doesn't really matter. She dies from the blight anyway. Easy. 625 gold, perfect. Alright, so we're about to enter another room. Let's stoke up again so that we're full.
The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Okay, and we got a big scout here. You see here we can scout both ways. So, the cobwebs are traps. So we know that there's a trap coming, which is great. This way or this way, this has a treasure room. And this has a battle with a curio, which is basically like something you can loot, like a bookshelf or something. So let's go towards the treasure. And we know that there's nothing else in here apart from this curio. So we can kind of just steamroll ahead. And it's a backpack.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Got a key and 4 crests. Gonna stoke our torch again. Go in here. So we know that there's treasure in here. Most likely guarded. Okay, so there's a new enemy we haven't seen before. A cultist brawler. And the other two we've seen, basically. Oh, Bone Soldier's new, I think. I think the other guys had blackjacks instead of swords. But same sort of thing, I think. Or it might be the exact same, I can't remember. We're gonna grape shot them either way. Falls across the board. Okay, so he crit us for 6, and Rend is going to bleed us as well. So because we got crit, we all stress out a little bit. Okay, we're going to Plague Grenade her again. Now she's going to Eldritch Push, which basically... Okay, if we didn't resist that, that would have pushed us, this front tank dude, back like 2 or 3 spots, and it would have jumbled our party up, which would have been actually really annoying. You can choose to move as well. So for instance, I can use my move here to move space, so we would have had to eventually move him back up to the front. So it's good that we resisted that. I'm going to take this time to heal our front line dude, because he was a little bit hurt and he is taking a bit of a bleed every turn as well. Okay, let us Zealous Accusation, and we missed. Okay, let's, she's gonna... How much damage health does she have? She has 4. She has a bleed on her for 4, so she's gonna die. We can forget about her. Let us, disorientate blast this guy. And then let us try and bleed this dude. Perfect. And then this is damage versus unholy, so that should kill him off. And then these 2 guys should die from their statuses. Oh no, he has 1 more turn. Close though. Okay, luckily it was a healer's go, so we can use this turn to heal up. He has a lot more health than these guys, so I'm gonna actually heal. I'm gonna heal our Plague Doctor up. And he's there. 600 gold. Okay, so let's see what's here. A chest with your family sigil. Open it. The contents are yours.
Packs
125 gold.
With loot are often low on supplies.
Okay, so we know here that there is a trap. And when we get to the trap, I'll explain that. So they're still bleeding. It's basically every quadrant you move into is a turn. So it says here bleeding 1 damage per round or whatever. Each one of them is a round. So here's the trap here. Now each person you have has trap disarm 60%. So he's got 60%. He has 90%. he has 60% and she has 50%. So we want to use this dude to disarm these traps, yeah? You just click on it, disarmed. He distresses himself because he disarmed the trap. All is well. Let's keep moving. Their bleeds are over now. Let's stoke up the torch again. And go in here and see what we got. And we get a scout. Okay, so we know for the rest of the place, we can go back here and get this curio, but whatever. Here there's a curio and there is another obstacle. We don't have a shovel, so we're going to take some stress damage from that, which is unfortunate, but there's nothing we can do about that because we didn't buy a shovel with us. Unless there's a shovel in here.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
We did, however, get 10 food there. Was it 10 food? I think it was. So food comes into it more when you do longer dungeons. So at the moment we're doing a short dungeon, a scouting dungeon. But when you do medium or longer dungeons, you can camp, which gives you the ability to heal up and de-stress and stuff depending on what skills you have. And you can eat food to get more health back and everything. However, for these short dungeons, we may as well just use this food to heal up a bit. So he can eat some food. He can eat some food. And there are hunger events as well that come through. You know, your party is hungry. You use 6 food to deal, starve off the hunger. Or if you don't have the 6 food or you choose not to, you take damage and get stressed and stuff. So we want to keep a bit of food on hand just in case we get a hunger event. But I doubt we will because it's a short... Oh, fuck it, there you go. Hunger event. There's exertions of adventuring and produce growing hunger amongst the party. Eat 4 food, regain 5% health. So we had shitloads of food in we had another stack of food I didn't see. Okay, well we can use all this. There's not going to be another hunger event, you wouldn't think. Okay, he's full. That's fine. We are going to stoke the torch one last time. So we have out of torches. However, we knew there was nothing in here. And we know there's nothing in here apart from this obstacle, which unfortunately we don't have the shovel for. So, see here, we don't have a shovel, can't click on this. Hence the da-da-da-da-da-da. So we're going to have to do this, and...
Without tools of iron, you must rely on flesh and indefatigable purpose.
Okay, the light is fading, the current torch level greatly affects many mechanics in the game. The darker it gets, the harder things are... the harder things get, but the better are the rewards. Right-click on a torch from the inventory to blah. So that not only seemed to reduced our torch as well, which is new. I believe that's new. Also gave us quite a bit of stress, and it gave us a little bit of damage as well. So you always want to have torches, shovels on hand if you can. So you can see here we're going into this last room, which is going to have a battle in it because it's got treasure in there. At under half torch. So we get more stressed. Their monster accuracy and damage is up. We get a better chance of being surprised, but we get better loot and we get more crits. So we'll see what we're up against. Okay, so we didn't get surprise, which is good. Okay, this dude is new. He is basically like their plague doctor. He does a lot of stress damage and plague damage and all the rest of it. This dude's basically a tank. This dude we've seen before, and this guy, this archer guy, is quite annoying from memory. So I'm going to try and take this archer guy out as soon as I can. Luckily, these two guys at the back here, you see their blight resistance is 10% each, so they're basically guaranteed to get blight here, which is great. He's going to die very quickly from that. Okay, so he's Tempting Goblet, which did 3 damage and 22 stress. She's getting quite stressed now, which is not the best. We can't bleed any of them because they're all skeletons. So we may as well just grape shot the front 3. He's going to die next turn from the blight, which is great. Again, we may as well just Zealous Accusation. Have an 85% chance of hitting, so not bad. Okay, now we have a healer. Everyone's pretty full health, so I am going to go for... How much health does this guy have? 3. And this does 3 damage. Does it? No, it heals for 3, sorry. How much is it going to do? It's going to do 3 to 7, so we might be able to kill this guy.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Okay, big crit on us there. That hurt quite a bit, not gonna lie. And we managed to dodge that one, which is nice. Okay, does this give us dodge? It doesn't. It just gives accuracy and stuff. Okay, I don't particularly want that. I wanted to be able to dodge because he's low on health. Let's just try and kill this guy off. 4 to 7. He's got 9 health, but... Or we could pistol shot this guy at the back. Yeah, let's pistol shot this guy. Because now he's going to die from blight.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
That was a much better idea. Getting 2 with one shot, basically. Now, we can't actually hit anyone, but this disorientating blast will get rid of this corpse, which doesn't actually do a thing, because he's in the front line anyway. But whatever. Had to use something, right? Okay, we'll use her to heal up our highwayman. Just so he doesn't die, and then we'll smite him.
Press this advantage.
Remember, it does more damage against Unholy, and he was Unholy, so... take all. Done! We're going to continue adventuring so we can open this chest. And we're going to put this key in there, because we don't get to keep... you don't get to keep anything after you finish.
Trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
By keeping stuff, I mean you don't get to keep your food, you don't get to keep anti-venom, you don't get to keep holy water. All your gold and your busts and crests and all this shit you get to keep, but all the consumables you don't get to keep. Alright, we're done. Let's get out of here. So, we got... Is this dude going to talk over us? No, he's not. Okay, we got 3,000 for completing the quest, the dungeon, whatever. We got 4 crests also. We also got a dodge stone. 4 dodge, but -1 speed. So you can equip people with inventory. You know, like with gear, basically. They have like a few slots you can give them. So someone with 4 dodge, so that might be good on our tanks, or it might be good on our healers to keep them alive, something like that. We also collected... all this stuff, but again, I don't know whether we... Last time you weren't able to keep it, but maybe you can keep it now. So I'll have to double check that, and I'll wear heirlooms as well. Okay, so everyone got XP, which is nice. And everyone also got a quirk, which could be nice, could not be nice. Let's see what we get. Okay, winded. -1 speed if below 50% health. It's not too bad. 10% scouting chance in the Warrens. That's good. Scouting is good. Okay, he just got bad, which is bad. Obsessed with cleanliness. Sure. Okay, guilty conscience. Bears the crushing guilt of deeds, real and imagined. And Warren's Explorer again. Or Warren Scounger is 10% chance. This is 20% chance. And she got soft. -5% max HP. You can get rid of these. You can spend money and you could basically put them in to one of these buildings for one dungeon, so that they can't come with you.
There is a great horror beneath the manor. A crawling chaos that must be destroyed.
Okay, over time, some negative quirks will lock in place and become severe. Severe negative quirks cost much more to remove in the sanitarium. Okay. Okay, so we've unlocked the Abbey and the Tavern. So the sanitarium is what I was talking about. For one turn, one dungeon, basically, you put these guys in there, they can't come with you, and you can remove one of their quirks. So you can see all the here, these guys are pretty stressed. These two, not so much. This guy's midway and she's pretty stressed. So when she gets to 100, she will have that resolve thing I was talking about, which is not the best. So we'll see if we can hire a new healer or something and not take her. Okay, Tavern, stress relief.
Fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
Okay, heroes relieve stress by taking part in activities at the Tavern and Abbey. Each have different side effects. Experiment to find the best activity each hero depending on their quirks. Committing a hero to an activity locks them in the activity for the next week, which is one dungeon. It takes a week. That's what I was saying before, getting rid of the quirks as well. Okay, so that's that. And what else did we get? The Abbey. Same
The
thing.
cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The Abbey calls to the faithful.
However, there's the caretaker who always takes one of these spots. You can upgrade it so you can have more spots, and so they do more, you know, take away more stress and all the rest of it. But basically, the Abbey and the Tavern are used for de-stressing your party. So remember here, someone had in town will only pray, right? So he's only going to be able to be put in here. See, won't let me go put him in here. Won't let me put him in the bar or anything. He only will pray. So that's basically what those mean. Let's have a look at our stagecoach and see what we can get. Okay, so we may as well get all 3 of these because, you know, we can get rid of people if we need to. So Vestal, we already know what they're about.
Of battle, pious and unrelenting.
A Houndmaster was the newest class when I was playing that was released. I didn't think much of it, but maybe they've changed it. Maybe it's better now, or maybe I was just playing it wrong. Either way, we'll get him. Basically, he has the ability to get his dog to attack for him, and it does a bleed. So this, you can see here, accuracy to bleed 1 point for 3 rounds, and you also get 15% damage versus beast and 60% damage versus marked. So remember, our Crusader could mark a target. So if we mark it, this dude's going to do 60% damage, more damage to that dude, to that marked person. There's a 1 damage bleed for 3 rounds to everyone, so that's pretty good. If you could beef that up to, you know, get a 2 or 3 bleed on every single target, that's not bad. Stress heal +3. I don't think much of that. +3 is nothing. It was +30, yeah, but +3, like, I don't know. I don't think much of it. And Blackjack is a really good stun, it looks like. So, I don't know. I don't think too much of him, but we'll get him.
A lawman and his faithful beast. A bond forged by battle and bloodshed.
Okay, and last but not least is the Hellion. These guys are really good. They were like the really, really OP class back when this game first started, and they nerfed them quite a bit. But I still really like them, and you know, hopefully they're still good. So she has Wicked Hack. She wants to be in the probably front or second spot. She's not so much of a tank as she is a really big damage dealer, but she can take a bit of a hit. Okay, Wicked Hack is just a hit that hits hard and has a 5% crit to it. Iron Swan can be used from the front line, but hits their back line. I basically never used that from memory. Barbaric Yop is a stun the front 2 lines, but you lose damage and dodge. So basically, she works. She's like a barbarian, where she has abilities that do a lot for your party, but she debuffs herself in the process. And then this one is, if it bleeds, a 2-point bleed for 3 rounds on their midline. There's Breakthrough was the spell I really liked. It was basically her version of Grape Shot. Hits the front 3 targets. Does quite a bit of damage. But debuffs you. And yeah. I remember them being pretty good. So we'll get her.
Barbaric rage and unrelenting savagery make for a powerful ally.
Okay. Now, how do we... What's all this about? We can get 3 deeds for swapping 3 crests? Is that what that means? Let's try it. Whoa, no. We lost 3 deeds. Oh, right, I see. No, we want it the other way around. 3 for 1? That's terrible. Okay, well, we know what that's about now. I was trying to get to this, but that's too expensive. Okay, well, we'll definitely leave it there. This video has gone on for quite a bit. It's reaching nearly the hour mark now. I do apologize about that. But I wanted to get the initial tutorial out of the way and 1 dungeon out of the way and explain all this to show you basically what the game's about, how it works, all the mechanics, and even now I haven't gone through all the mechanics, but you've got a vague understanding of what the game is about. It's more of the same of this, just gradually getting harder and more in depth and more to it. So if you like this, you will love the rest of the game. If you didn't like this, then it's probably, you know, more of the same and you probably won't like it that much. But I'm more than happy to make a series out of this and return and cover it properly. As I said, when I did it back in the day, it was the first game I covered and I was sick and didn't do it justice. So please let me know if you'd like to see more of this. Leave a like and a comment if that's the case to let me know. Otherwise, I have no idea. And yeah, hopefully we can continue and get back into the Darkest Dungeon. That would be good. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.